USA, in the quiet hills of Kentucky, stands a fortress so secure it became a saying, as safe as Fort Knox. Built in 1936 during the Great Depression, it was America's answer to fear, a vault made to guard the nation's wealth when banks couldn't. Inside lies over 147 million ounces of gold, sealed behind granite walls, reinforced steel, and a 22-ton vault door. It can't be opened by one person alone. Each guard only knows part of the code. Only one U.S. president, Franklin D. Roosevelt, ever stepped inside back in 1943. Everyone else, even Congress, has been locked out. During World War II, it didn't just store gold. It protected America's most priceless treasures: the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, even a copy of the Magna Carta. And today, no one really knows what's inside. Some say it hides alien metals, secret treaties, or classified archives. Whatever the truth, Fort Knox remains the world's most unbreakable vault, built not just to protect gold, but to protect secrets. Mount Weather, USA. Hidden deep in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Virginia, lies a facility most Americans will never see: Mount Weather. Built in the 1950s, at the height of the Cold War, it was designed as a top-secret command center, a place where U.S. leaders could survive a nuclear strike. Behind barbed wire fences and blast-proof tunnels sits an underground city, complete with dorms, offices, power plants, and its own water supply. All carved beneath solid rock, it's said to contain everything needed to keep the government running if Washington, D.C. were ever destroyed. On September 11, 2001, Mount Weather briefly surfaced in the news. When top officials were reportedly evacuated there during the attacks, proof that it's still active and ready. Even today, the layout, staff, and technology inside remain classified. Some call it a shadow capital, a hidden government waiting for the day it's needed. Whatever happens above ground, Mount Weather stands ready, the ultimate doomsday bunker, built for a world on the edge. Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels, Restricted Areas, USA. In downtown Los Angeles, amid the noise and traffic, stands a place of silence and mystery. The Cathedral of Our Lady of the Angels. Completed in 2002, it serves as the spiritual heart of the city's Catholic community. But beyond the public chapels and marble halls, lie areas almost no one outside the clergy has ever seen. These restricted sections include sealed chambers, archives of sacred relics, and rooms reserved only for high-ranking church officials and visiting Vatican representatives. Even maintenance staff can't enter without special clearance. Some believe these rooms protect unrevealed religious artifacts, ancient manuscripts, even documents tied to the church's deepest secrets. Others say they're simply holy spaces, never meant for public eyes. Whatever the truth, behind those locked cathedral doors lies a side of faith the world was never meant to see. Big Brother facilities, China. Across China, hidden among industrial parks and remote provinces, lie vast complexes known only by code names. The so-called Big Brother facilities. These are the nerve centers of one of the most advanced surveillance systems on Earth. Equipped with AI-powered cameras, facial recognition servers, and massive data farms, these zones monitor everything, from city streets to digital conversations. Some are linked to the government's Skynet and Sharp Eyes programs, reportedly tracking hundreds of millions of citizens every day. Foreign journalists and outsiders are never allowed near these buildings. Satellite images show windowless compounds, high fences, radar domes, restricted airspace. Insiders claim that deep within, researchers test next-generation tech, predictive behavior algorithms, voice biometrics, even tools that can map entire social networks in seconds. Whether they're research centers or monitoring hubs, one thing is clear: these facilities don't just watch what people do, they study who they are. Moscow Metro 2, Russia. Beneath the busy streets of Moscow, legend speaks of another city, one that runs in the shadows of the real metro. Known as Metro 2, this secret underground network is said to connect the Kremlin, the Federal Security Service, and nuclear bunkers buried deep below the capital. It was reportedly built during the Stalin era in the 1950s, part of the Soviet plan to survive a nuclear war. The tunnels are rumored to stretch for dozens of kilometers, with trains, dormitories, command centers, even entire underground towns for top officials. In 1992, a Russian intelligence officer briefly confirmed its existence and before being swiftly silenced. Since then, the government denies it entirely and calling Metro 2 a myth. Yet urban explorers claim to have found sealed doors, unmarked shafts, hints of something more. Whether it's an abandoned relic or a still functioning Cold War underworld, Metro 2 remains one of Russia's deepest secrets, literally. RAF Fylingdales, UK. In the remote North York moors of England, 3 sharp white pyramids rise from the mist. The unmistakable silhouette of RAF Fylingdales. Built in 1963, this base is part of the US-UK missile warning system, designed to spot incoming nuclear attacks long before they strike. Inside its futuristic radomes are powerful radar arrays, capable of tracking objects thousands of kilometers away, from missiles to satellites, even space debris. It operates 24/7, feeding real-time data straight to NATO and NORAD command centers. The base is so restricted, even nearby villagers don't know exactly what happens inside. Armed patrols and motion sensors surround the perimeter. Photography is strictly banned. Though its official mission is space monitoring, many believe Fylingdales plays a bigger role, part of a global defense web, watching not just the skies, but every signal above Earth. Whatever it's tracking, RAF Fylingdales stands as Britain's unsleeping eye. Always open, always watching. Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. On the southern edge of Cuba, surrounded by turquoise water and razor wire, lies one of the most controversial places on Earth, Guantanamo Bay. Originally leased by the U.S. in 1903, it became infamous after 2002, when it was turned into a high-security detention center for suspected terrorists following 9/11. Behind its fences are maximum security compounds, military courts, and interrogation blocks, all guarded by U.S. Marines under constant surveillance. No civilians, journalists, or independent observers are allowed inside without Pentagon approval. The base operates under unique legal conditions, technically outside U.S. soil, meaning ordinary laws don't fully apply. That loophole has fueled decades of controversy, secrecy, and human rights debates. Even today, parts of the facility remain classified, with unknown detainees and secret procedures still rumored to occur. For many, Guantanamo Bay is more than a prison. It's a symbol of power, secrecy, and moral conflict, a place the world still questions, but few truly understand. Vostok Station, Antarctica. In the heart of East Antarctica, where temperatures plunge below -80 degrees Celsius, stands one of the most isolated places on Earth. Vostok Station, built by the Soviets in 1957, it sits above a buried wonder, Lake Vostok, a vast body of liquid water sealed under 4 kilometers of ice. For millions of years, scientists believe the lake could harbor ancient, unknown microbes, untouched since before humans existed. That's why every drill and experiment is tightly controlled to avoid contamination. Only a handful of researchers are ever allowed in. Each must go through international permits, medical checks, and months of training just to survive the brutal cold. The air is thin, the isolation extreme, and communication often fails. Yet discoveries here could rewrite Earth's biological history. Deep beneath that frozen desert, Vostok hides a secret world, one that may prove life can survive in the most impossible places. Bohemian Club, California, USA. Tucked deep inside the redwood forests of Northern California lies a place few have ever seen. The Bohemian Grove. Owned by the Bohemian Club, it's a private, all-male retreat where some of the world's most powerful figures gather every summer, far from cameras and questions. Presidents, billionaires, and corporate leaders have all attended, from Ronald Reagan and Richard Nixon to executives from Google and Goldman Sachs. Inside the 2,700-acre camp, they hold meetings, concerts, and strange ceremonies. Most famously, the cremation of care, performed before a giant stone owl. No media, staff, or guests are allowed to record what happens inside. Security is tight, and outsiders caught near the area are swiftly removed. Some say it's just an exclusive getaway. Others believe it's where global policies and power deals are quietly shaped behind closed doors. Whatever happens among those redwoods, one thing is clear. What starts in Bohemian Grove rarely leaves it. Poveglia Island, Italy. Just a short boat ride from Venice lies Poveglia Island, a tiny patch of land with a terrifying past. For centuries, it served as a plague quarantine zone, where ships suspected of carrying disease were sent, and thousands of infected people were left to die. In the 1700s, mass graves filled the soil with the ashes of the dead. Later, in the 1920s, a mental asylum was built on the island, where rumors of brutal experiments and ghostly sightings began. Locals say the island's doctor eventually went mad and threw himself from the bell tower, which still stands, silent and decaying. Today, Poveglia is officially off-limits to visitors. Italian authorities ban all public access, citing safety, but locals whisper it's because of the cursed energy that still lingers. With its crumbling buildings and eerie silence, Poveglia remains one of the most haunted and forbidden places in Europe, where the dead never truly left. Room 39, North Korea. Deep inside Pyongyang, hidden within a nondescript government building, lies one of the most secretive offices on Earth, Room 39. Created in the 1970s, it's said to be the financial heart of North Korea's regime, directly controlled by Kim Jong-un himself. Officially, it doesn't exist, but intelligence reports claim it runs dozens of front companies around the world, involved in everything from foreign currency trading and gold smuggling to cybercrime and counterfeit money production. The goal? To secretly funnel billions of dollars into maintaining the country's power and nuclear programs. Only a small circle of elite officials knows what really happens inside those walls. And speaking about it can mean disappearance or death. To this day, Room 39 remains a shadow empire within a shadow state, the beating heart of North Korea's hidden operations. Mount Athos, Greece. Rising from the Aegean Sea like a sacred fortress, Mount Athos has stood untouched by time for over 1,000 years. This peninsula in northern Greece is home to 20 monasteries and nearly 2,000 monks, all devoted entirely to prayer, isolation, and spiritual discipline. But here's the part that shocks most people. No women are allowed. Since a Byzantine decree in 1046, Mount Athos has enforced an unbroken rule called the Avaton, banning women and even female animals from entering its borders. The monks believe this ensures complete devotion to God, free from distraction. Even queens, movie stars, have been turned away at the gates. Visitors require a special permit, granted to only a handful of men each year. It's not just a monastery, it's a living medieval world, sealed off from the modern one. Mount Athos remains one of Earth's most peaceful yet forbidden places, where time, faith, and solitude have stood still for a millennium. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.